Okay, let's take care of a little bit of business right now, please. Get my list. Okay, I'm checking down my list. I took attendance. We did some math. I did the science magazine, social studies magazine. We did a read aloud. Okay. Coming up. Okay, please remember to have your cards ready for next week. We'll start using these next week. And the dice if you can. And the cards if you have some. If you don't have playing cards, then I would ask for you to make some numeral cards. You could take a piece of paper, like this or so, and maybe fold it in half and fold it in half again, and even one more time you could fold it in half. And then would you please write the numerals 0 up to 10. Each card gets a different numeral, and you could do that twice would be great. So you would have a small stack of cards, and I'll show you how we can use them if you don't have a set of playing cards at your house. It's the numeral part of the card that's the important piece, not the fact that they're cards, but those are just easy because the numerals are already taken care of. So if you have cards and dice ready. Then let me check here. Okay. Thinking ahead, word work starts next week, so we have a rhyme family coming up. We ended with the letter U. Remember, but, cut, shut, hut. A, E, I, O, U. Next week will be a medial vowel. Middle vowel A will be the word. I'm still deciding which word family. Some new things coming in. I have a couple of changes, some surprises. Please continue to be active and active in the house, politely and carefully. That could be jumping up and down in one spot, or moving quickly up and down the stairs that get your heart moving. And then today is supposed to be a beautiful day again, so outside activity or a nice walk or playing in your backyard or in your front yard with supervision is an important part of us staying healthy right now. But we're in the middle of some really beautiful weather days. Spring! Hey, spring came! I think yesterday was the first day of spring. Today's the first full day of spring, but spring is here. Yay! So March is a good reason to enjoy March, is the fact that spring arrives during this month. Okay, you're about to have a weekend. There's no lessons or assignments or videos, but you of course are welcome to do things that are good about learning. Learning how to plant some plants in the backyard, or learning how your dad or mom empties or loads the dishwasher. Helpful things like that are good things to be knowing, or asking if your dad or mom or older brothers or sisters could teach you something. How to say a word in another language, or count to 5 in Spanish, or something like that. Keeping our brains active, like our bodies stay active. Today there's a teacher meeting. The teachers at Bryant are going to get together with Mrs. Marshall and Ms. Snookle on what's called a virtual meeting. We'll be in our homes, but we'll be on the computer and be able to participate in a shared meeting, even though we're far away from each other. And then the kindergarten team teachers, Ms. Confer, Ms. Schellenberger, Mrs. Barnes, Mr. Jones, and I will be doing a similar meeting coming up next week. New news for families on Sunday. I'll send an email message out to your parents, giving them some new information about next week and how things will work. I'm pleased with this format of how we've been working and talking and learning and teaching this week. Again, under unusual circumstances, but we have had success. And I'll be adding more work in, like the word work, and then some different things with math and some reading tasks to do that will be different than we did this week. This was a nice kind of building up towards what will be our new routines, plus a couple of changes, and some added things that I'm not going to talk about now, but I want you to start wondering about. Okay, two last things. I'd like you to think about collections. Collections are groups of things that have similar features. Some people collect things that they like or brings them pleasure or joy, or that they find interesting or unusual. Some people collect stamps or coins or special glassware or glasses, types of toys or books by a certain author, interesting clothes. Someone once teased me because they know I like stuff. Stuff is good for me. And they said, 2 things make a collection. They were teasing me because I do like stuff, I do like things, I do like gathering and collecting things, and they looked at some of my things and said, Kevin, 2 things make a collection. And I thought, okay, but wait, no. Is that true about everything? So, do I have a collection of towels because I have several towels? Do I have a collection of spoons because I have so many spoons in my kitchen? Do I have a collection of chairs because I have chairs in my house? I think they were teasing me. I do want you to think about things you might collect. Not in the future, but what you have now. Are you a Lego figure collector? Are you a special pen collector? Or a favorite author of books collector? Think about your collections and think about one. It could be something you like, or just gather some things that would be useful for us to do some new counting tasks next week. We will start to close out our study of numerals 0 to 100, and then moving into the next math study of did you figure out what it is yet? The next math unit we're studying is about one more time. I'll tell you next week. You could look in your math workbook for an idea, but I don't think you'll find it there. Some kind of collection of smaller things. You don't need to bring your chairs and collect your chairs, although that would be interesting and funny, but it might be annoying to your grown-ups. So something small. It could easily just be pennies or dimes or nickels, if that's an easy thing for you to have. You want something small in front of you. So a big stack of books probably wouldn't be so helpful, but something small that you might have. And if your things that you have around, something easy to ask for over the weekend is to ask people that if you could borrow, because you'll give them back, about 20 things. Now, 20 pennies would be fine, or 20 dimes, or it could just be 20 Lego pieces that you're not going to play with. Maybe not the Lego ones, but something small. I have a video to show you. I've never shown anyone this collection. People have seen some of my other collections. I should do a house tour one of these videos, show you some parts of my houses. I do have a video and some photographs I took yesterday. I used yesterday to find some peace in my heart and touch things that I like and care about, which I find comforting. So yesterday I did some organizing. I'm finishing up today my miniature, miniature means small, my miniature toy collection. I have many of them. I have many, many of them. Okay, I have hundreds of them. They're called Kinderüberraschung. It's something I learned when I traveled to Germany about, almost 30 years ago. Yes, it is. It was 20. Yeah, 90. It's small toy in a plastic egg inside chocolate, inside foil. I've just noticed them in food stores now in the Seattle area in the United States. For a long time, they were not able to be found in the United States. I'll show them to you next week, and I'll be using those as my collection when we do our math work about. So if you can be looking this weekend, choose something that you have around the house that you like and will want to touch. Please not play with, but use for our counting work next week. Counting connected to. Okay, and that's it. Now I have one more thing, and then let's be ready.